Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to all the viewers. My name is Muhammad Syahril bin Mak Yusof and I'm a lecturer from Polytechnic Muka. Today I'll present our research paper entitled The Factor Influencing Consumer Attitudes Toward Brand Extension, a case study of engine oil lubricant. Our group members Muhammad Syafiq Muhammad Nasruddin, me Muhammad Syahril bin Mak Yusof and Ahmad Syakir bin Khadimin.
In today's world, brand extension is more important than ever as companies are constantly seeking to expand their customer base, increase revenue, and remain competitive in ever-changing business landscape, especially during the post-COVID-19 pandemic. In this research, we will attempt to narrow down the scope of consumer attitude toward the brand extension of engine oil and determine the antecedent which form the consumer attitudes. The attitude toward object model established by Martin Fishburne in 1967 was adopted in these studies. Variables examined in the research are brand loyalty and consumer involvement. Survey methods were employed by distributing 165 sets of self-administrated questionnaires to prospective respondents, and convenient sampling was operated. The findings of the study provide evidence on the elements significantly shape the consumer attitude toward brand extension with regard in selecting engine oil for cars. COVID-19 pandemic started in 2019 has caused major downturn in many business regardless of the industries. Lubricant companies were also impacted by the global outbreak as many market surveys report that the COVID-19 pandemic has unprecedented impact on the sales and production of engine oil manufacturers. Pandemic has caused decline in automotive production and sales, leading to decrease in demand for engine oil. Recognizing the need to bounce back in the post-pandemic era, lubricant companies are reformulating strategies in order to maintain the market relevance and sustainability. Firms use the brand extension to influence consumer brand choices. Brand extension is a part of the marketing strategy to break the entry barrier between product categories through the carryover of brand reputation. Hence, this study is particularly aimed to investigating the effect of brand loyalty and consumer involvement which form consumer attitude toward engine oil brand extension. To gain an understanding of consumer attitude toward brand extension of engine oil and to explore the relationship between brand loyalty, consumer involvement, and consumer attitude toward brand extension. Brand extension is a marketing strategy that involves using the existing brand name to launch a new product or product line in a different market or category. According to Shabir, brand extension can have a significant impact on consumer purchase intention. Ashidin in 2016 explained consumer attitude as a person's propensity toward an idea or an object, and his or her value assessment and feeling about something. Ramakrishnan and Reynolds quoted that retailer performance may be improved by branding and clear positioning using consumers and competitive-oriented strategies. Aker and Keller in 1919 claimed the success of brand extension usually rely on several theories such as consumer hold positive belief and favorable attitude toward the original brand in the memory. This positive association facilitate the formation of positive belief and favorable attitude toward the brand extension, and negative association are needed transfer to know created by the brand extension. According to Ozretic Docent in 2018, brand loyalty is a consequence of consumer favorable perception and emotion toward the brand. Anwar in 2011 suggests that consumer loyalty has a positive impact on the attitude toward brand extension. Dick and Kunal, Hassan and Fatemeh Sadat quoted that marketing concept of brand loyalty built up of a consumer commitment to repurchase or continuously using the brand, and this behavior are indicated by repeated buying of a product or service or other positive behavior such as word of mouth and promotion. Adopting Rees 2015 and Faulkner and Settler on 2006, the attitude toward an extension is better when the consumer trusts the brand, buy the brand product regularly and show a commitment to repurchase them. Consumer involvement is considered as an individual different variable and is an causal or motivating variable with a number consequence on customer, purchase and communication behavior. Consumers have established and maintained relationship with the product to some extent, where it play an important role in explaining how to establish and realize this relationship. Aaron Ackdormus in 2018 stated that individuals who perceive an issue as important and related to them personally tend to have more favorable opinion about objects related to that issue. Kavita and Sharma in 2013 quote that high involvement of increase in the tendency to think about benefit and determinants of new product and consumer willingness to process more information which result in favorable evaluation.
The respondents of this study are the consumers who have the experience of buying or using the engine lubricant oil. Data were collected from the consumer aged 18 and above who live in Kuala Lumpur. The sampling size for the study was adopting the Roscoe's rules of thumb as cited in Sekaran and Bogie 2013, which proposed the right sample size must be larger than 30 and less than 500 sample. This research was investigating for variable with 23 items in total, and 115 samples are considered appropriate. However, 165 samples from respondents were managed to be collected. For measurement of scale, Likert scale is used, which requires respondent to indicate the degree of agreement or disagreement with each of a series of statements about the variable. Uh, each scale item consists of 5 response categorized ranging from strong disagree to strongly agree. The sampling technique to be employed in this study is a convenience sampling, as it refers to the collection of information from members of the population who are conveniently available to provide it. And these studies utilizing IBM SPSS as the statistical tools to analyze the data. The reliability tests conducted on the variables were found to be acceptable and reliable as the Cronbach alpha values for all the variables are more than 0.6. The chart shows the frequency of demographic profile for the total 165 respondents. 59.4% of the respondents or 98 respondents who answered the survey were male, while the other 40.6% or 67 respondents were women. Out of 6 predetermined group of age, most of the respondents were aged between 21 to 25 years old, which representing the largest age group among the total respondents. The survey also shows that most of the respondents are employed by total up the percentage of for government, own business and privately employed, which cover 49.1% out of total. Based on the chart, most respondents service their car more than 5 times in a year, which represented by 29.1% of 48 respondents. 110 respondents, which is 66.7%, claim that they care about the engine oil used for their car. However, when it comes to the loyalty question, the percentage show a slight difference where only 49.1% considered themselves loyal to a specific engine oil brand, meanwhile the remaining are not. The descriptive table shows the figure of mean and standard deviation for each variable. From the above result, it can be concluded that most of the respondents agreed with all the items in the brand loyalty and consumer involvement variable, as they mostly choose between 3 to 5 in the Likert scale, which are from neutral to strongly agreed. By using the Pearson correlation coefficient test, this study found that all the identified factors have significant relationship with the consumer attitudes toward brand extension. Table shows that the correlation coefficient obtained was 0.702 for brand loyalty and 0.604 for consumer involvement, and the p-value for all this correlation was smaller than 0.05. This shows that there is a significant and positive relationship between brand loyalty and consumer involvement with the consumer attitudes toward brand extension in engine oil product. Output generated in the correlation analysis shows there is a significant and positive relationship. To further prove this annotation, regression analysis explain that brand loyalty is the most significant and influential factor among others in determining consumer attitude toward brand extension, as the beta value for this coefficient was the highest, 0.422. All the items suggested to be used in measuring the variable were valid and totally significant, since the factor analysis proved that. As a conclusion, the respondent of the study was split when it comes to the loyalty to specific brand. It might be driven by many other factors, such as price, accessibility, and other which were not examined in the study. The outcome resulted from the investigation of relationship between brand loyalty and consumer attitudes toward brand extension was clearly supported by Wagner and Settler 2006, Kotari and Mendagi 2019, and Setik and Poturak 2022 studies where it shows a positively and significantly relationship between both variables. The traditional focus on aggressive selling merely should be reviewed by looking into the importance of consumer attitude, which encompasses multiple elements as discussed in this study. Besides, for future research, it is suggested to broaden the scope of the study beyond a specific location, since data collected as well as the result obtained from the analysis might only be significant in that specific area. Since consumer attitude toward brand extension not only comprise of brand loyalty and consumer involvement, other variables such as product features, similarity, consumers' innovativeness, self-image, experience, and so on might also be operate, and further studies are encouraged. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Thank you so much.